Time to become a demon in Minecraft by using the Minecraft Origins mod. The origin is created by this user, and let's get into the abilities of this origin. Moving into our first ability, Carnival, your diet is restricted to meat, therefore you cannot eat vegetables whatsoever. Restricting your food source, you know the deal with this one, you can't have any form of vegetable-based foods, including the golden apples and golden carrots, which are the best overall foods, but you still have access to things such as steak, so it's not all bad. Moving into our next ability, you've got the Nocturnal ability. You can slightly see in the dark when not in water. I think it's fair to say that the origin creator here is very underselling this ability, because the difference between being at how you can see at nighttime when you're outside of water and how you see it underneath water is like night and day. No pun intended. Actually, it was entirely intended. The night vision isn't exactly a slight boost. It's actually quite nice and very noticeable buff and boost that is very handy to come at nighttime. But when you do hop into water, it does become pitch black very quickly and very easily. So I guess that's one thing to keep in mind with that. Moving to our next ability, we've got the Demonic Body. Your demonic body is much stronger, giving you many positive effects such as resistance, strength, and speed. Essentially speaking, the best way to speak it is like you're pretty much on a beacon 24/7. You've got a majority of the beacon effects aside from haste almost all the time, which can and cannot be useful at the same time. A lot of people like having the speed effect on all the time, but sometimes there'll become a scenario where you don't like it as much, and the same goes with the jump boost. Actually, jump boost becomes more annoying the more you have to deal with it, but overall it's a very nice and handy thing to have these permanent boosts on your body all the damn time, instead of needing to build up to any form of beacon or have some potions on you to get these effects. Move on to our next ability, you have the Hearty ability. You have 2 more hearts than most humanoids, which overall is a pretty neat thing to have, mainly because you got 2 more hearts than the typical Minecraft player. But this does come with a bit of a disadvantage that gets conned in with this ability, is your need of movement. You cannot wear armor above iron level, so whilst you have the extra health, you also have the resistance that comes with the beacon effects that you have by default. You cannot wear any armor that's higher than an iron level, which is good and bad at the same time. It's good because it kind of gives you a bit of a handicap in a way, but it's bad because, well, it kind of gives you a bit of a handicap in the way. But it does give you a reason to use iron armor a little bit more. That might break a lot quicker, so I guess you gotta be wary of that one all the time. Moving into our next ability, you've got the Large Appetite. You exhaust much quicker than others, thus requiring you to eat much more than the typical Minecraft player. Overall, a pretty interesting ability. It does require you to eat food more, and it kind of makes sense off the back of the fact that you have a higher health count, so meaning that your food should kind of get consumed a wee bit quicker by everything. But this does have its little bit of a counterintuitive effect that comes with one of the earlier abilities, is that you have regeneration on you in most occasions, mainly because of those effect abilities you have by default. Ultimately meaning that your hunger is going to not really be hurt as much via your health bar being low in comparison to the average Minecraft player, because you have a bonus generation boost on the side of it as well. Moving into your next ability, you've got the Unwieldy ability. The way your hands are formed provide no way of holding a shield upright like a normal Minecraft player. Again, this is just another interesting thing. Because of your bonus health, this is one of those balancing abilities which just removes your ability to use a shield. So not only do you have a lack of armor in comparison to the average player, you also cannot really shield against certain types of attacks with a shield because, well, you don't have a shield to use. You're unable to use it. It's just completely blocked from your usage, which is kind of a bit of a shame. But I guess it's how it is sometimes to balance out these type of origins. Moving into your next ability, you've got Sturdy Skin. Even without wearing armor, your skin provides a natural protection for you. This is kind of a small natural protection boost. It's roughly around only 5 chest plate armor points on top of you, which overall is a really nice boost considering the fact that you cannot use any form of armor higher than iron, so it kind of compensates for that little fact. Moving on, we have the Bloodthirst ability. After killing an entity, you gain 2 hearts back. Overall, this is going to be something that's pretty useful to you, but again, additioning on with your typical regeneration, which is kind of on the slow side, as well as your hunger that will move a lot quicker, it's going to give you an overall just a slight bit of an advantage that just makes it a little bit easier for you, so you won't consume hunger, as well as you'll be able to heal yourself in the midst of battle, because, Bloodsteal. Lifesteal is a pretty interesting ability, and it's very useful, but also potentially something that can be overpowered at the same time. The next ability we have is Soul Seal. Your demonic body is cursed, and any more cursed banner hurts you. Yeah, I can't exactly figure out this one. I read through the Discord messages itself to see what abilities there are, and this one doesn't seem to have any loose lineup. It just seems to be an added piece of information that's there that doesn't exactly have any proper explanation. I originally thought that it'd be something to do with any form of cursed armor being on your body will hurt you, or maybe potentially a cursed weapon. Maybe if someone using a cursed weapon against you, like something cursed with a curse of vanishing or curse of binding, may potentially do extra damage towards you. Maybe that's what we have here, but I'm not quite sure. Moving into our next ability, we have Flash Step. This is your primary active ability. You can use the element of surprise well. You can go 10 blocks in front of you before others can actually react. Now, this is a beautiful ability to have. It's a beautiful movement ability, but one thing to very keep in mind here, it's not a jump per se, it's more of a teleportation forward, exactly like kind of like the name is, a flash. Ultimately, this is a really beautiful ability. You can use it to negate a huge portion of fall damage, like you can fall halfway down to where you need to fall and then teleport the rest of the way and only take the fall damage that was made from the fall before you teleported, as well as other bits of beautiful different ways of using this to have some pretty brilliant movement. But one thing to keep in mind whenever you're using this ability is if you teleport inside of a wall, it's not going to try and find the next open gap or only force you towards the wall itself. It will actually put you inside the block itself, and you're kind of going to have to wait for it to recharge if you don't have the ability to break the block so you can teleport back out again, or otherwise you'll just suffocate to death on the inside of a block. Moving into our next ability, we've got Burning Smite. Any item with the Smite enchantment will make you take more damage as it's absorbed sunlight. Okay, first off, just to point out to the origin creator, there's a bit of a grammar mistake here. The actual ability says will make you more damage. You forgot the add the word take there, which is why I stumbled and stuttered for a moment, but okay. Basically speaking, sharpness is not your friend anymore. Well, actually, it is your friend. In fact, Smite is going to be the most painful the most painful enchantment that most people get on their weapons by default, which everyone hates, is the Smite one. But suddenly it's going to become about 10 times more useful directly against you. Overall, it's a bit of a not 100% sure how to feel about it, because 9 times out of 10 Smite weapons, when they do the bonus damage, they only like do bonus damage equivalent to sharpness. Actually no, I think it's like slightly more than sharpness. I don't remember precisely what it is, but most of the time a Smite sword will only do as much damage to a zombie as a sharpness sword would do to that zombie. It just gives you the extra damage because it's Smite. But basically, Smite weapons will also hurt you, so it kind of gives an extra tool to use against you. Also, I have no real way to demonstrate this, so apologies. There's the next ability I can definitely show. It's called Sunlight Hurts. It's very simple, very self-explainable. Your demonic body dissolves in sunlight. Be very careful. This ability is essentially going to make or break your run dependent on where you spawn in the world. If you spawn in the middle of a desert, then you're absolutely screwed. Because what happens is it basically gives you the wither effect. Not a typical burning fire effect. No, it gives you a wither effect, meaning that your health ticks down at a slightly faster rate than what a fire would normally do. Basically speaking, your health's going to go down extremely rapidly. Now, of course, you do have a few invincibility frames that you do when you spawn in Minecraft for the first time, but they wear out very quickly, and so once they do go out, your health drops extremely fast. So you want to keep out of the sunlight as much as humanly possible and get undercover as soon as you possibly can. Just for a reference, it is a Wither 4 debuff that you get, so it goes fast. Moving to the next thing that we have here, we've got the Sun Dissolving, which is apparently an active ability. I have no idea what it means by this. It's trying to reference it in the actual Discord message itself. I can't quite understand it, but there is one thing that isn't quite referenced in these origin abilities that I'll discuss here instead. It is the kind of evolved Sun Demon abilities. But I suppose we should at least go through the last main demon effect, which is the Arcane Stomach. You're immune to hunger and therefore cannot starve to death. Pretty self-explanatory. Now, in the Discord message itself on the Origins Discord server, it says that you need to get to the How Did We Get Here achievement. You evolve into the Sun Demon, but I got it after getting the Furious Cocktail achievement. And for those of you who don't know what that means, it means getting every single potion effect in the game. The How Did We Get Here achievement requires you get every single potion effect and status effect that is possible to gain in the game, and after that you gain the immunity to the sun, meaning that you can go out and explore the world in the daytime and not die to it as often, ultimately giving you a good reward for all that hard work you put in to get these advancements. Now, as I said, I got it after getting the Furious Cocktail achievement, but overall it is something beautiful if you want to go through the effort to get this achievement. And then of course you get the ability to just walk in the sun and not have a care, as well as due to your hot body, venoms burn up, making you immune to poison effects as well. So overall, an amazing origin. I highly suggest you go check it out using the Origins Discord link down below. And if you enjoy this video, make sure to click this video on screen now, where I go through a collection of Minecraft memes that will ruin your day. Goodbye!